Good morning, everybody. Let me turn it down a little bit. I'm having a little trouble with my music service. It kind of messed things up somehow. Or maybe it's just me, but it used to just play tracks by itself, and I had to actually click tracks today. Anyway, well, that's a little loud still, isn't it? Let's turn that down. And as soon as this music's in, I'm done with it. Anyway, good morning. It's Tuesday. Taco Tuesday, Twitter Tuesday, whatever you want to call it. And there's some things trending in the news today that are interesting about presidential candidates, senatorial candidates, and a lesbian. But I am just foreshadowing today's show. Just saying. Anyway, hope you're ready. Oh, we have our sponsor right off the bat. Look at that. I love it. John, you are the new Streamlabs Superstar sponsor of the day. Wow, that music's really loud. Turn that shit down. John, I don't know which John it is, though. John who? Is it going to be John Migda? Is it John? Yeah, maybe. I'm guessing it's John Migda, yes. Oh, it is John Migda. Thank you, sir. Dropping the small bullet in the tip jar, saying, honestly, left the channel. Can't even chat at the moment. What? What happened? Is there something wrong here? Oh, looks like only mods are being able to chat. What is going on with that? Let me see if I can fix this. Okay, I'm about to fix this. Anyway, I'll see if I what I can do during the intro. So let's just do that, and I'll see what I can fix in 60 seconds. Johnny, play the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, coming to you live from the Lucky Dog Studio in a hidden location somewhere in the upper Midwest of the United States of America, it's a brother making his own way, but with all the wrong opinions. Welcome to the Morning Night Live with your host, yours truly, P. Dog Night. Figured it out. Everyone should be good now. My apologies. Stop the music stopped. What the heck? It was supposed to be subscriber mode. Live commentary mode off. Everyone can send messages. I don't know what the hell happened. Oh, I see what I had. Only viewers selected by the channel owner can send messages. No. Now we're all good now. Thank you, John Migda, for sponsoring the show. I apologize to those of you who are having troubles. It's all good. Anyway, welcome to the Morning Night Live. I'm your host, Marty, also known as P-Dog Night on the internet, and welcome back to the P-Dog Night channel. It is Tuesday, the 4th of October 2022, the day that my son turns 26 years old. Happy birthday to my son, G. I hope he's having a wonderful day. I know he's not listening to me because he's probably working already and out in Denver. And the chat is fixed. I wonder if I can find John Migda on whatchamacallit, on Twitter. Let me see for a second, because I want to let him know that everything's good. It's all good, man. It's all good, man. Everyone knows that. So today, we're going to talk about some triggering. Some people are a bit triggered by a former presidential candidate, a former presidential candidate who, really gets the people going every time he does something. And I'm not talking about the guy with the funny hair. I'm talking about none other than Kanye. Yes, Kanye has people triggered today. And I'm going to tell you why, but I'm going to say good morning to people first. Because this is terrible. It's a terrible thing, I think. John, oh, good, you're back. I had accidentally clicked the wrong choice when it came to who could chat. And so I fixed it just now. So I hope everyone's able to chat. I'm going to be able to say good morning to everybody. I hope I didn't put a thumb on the scales when it comes to who's first today, but excuse me, I don't think I did. In fact, I know I didn't. Let's say good morning to the people who are here. And now that you're able to chat, put it up in the chat so I know you're here. First in the chat today with the morning even is our friend Avocados Diabli, who gets the bell. Thank you for joining us today, sir. Also, good morning, Mike Savage, Blarg, D.I. Freighter Watcher, Tyrannus, Alexandrius, Invictus Soul, Emperor. Good morning, sir. Also, good morning, D.I. I said D.I. Freighter Watcher. Also, because I had it on mods only, now that we can get the other people here. Good morning, Aaron Meredith, HP Lovecraft, Rotten Corpse, John Bigton, Neon Leon, Damien Gershwin, Attack Alpaca. Let's see, John Megda. I said I origin John Megda. Tyler F's in the house. Good morning, Anna Lynn, Asan, Black Hebrew Israelite. By the way,
that's right.
A little bird told me, well, you're telling me too, that it's Black Hebrew Israelite's birthday. Everybody sing. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Black Hebrew Israelite.
That's right.
Happy birthday to you.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right.
All right. Happy birthday, Black Hebrew Israelite. You get a bell just for being the birthday boy. Thank you for being here and a proud supporter of the Morning Night Live and the P-Dog Night channel. I appreciate you more than you know. So let's just, I got here late and I was like, am I going to actually take a long time finding things, or am I just going to find things that are on the top of the list and then we'll figure out everything else later? And I decided to go the latter route. I found a few things that are trending right now. And it is Twitter Tuesday, so, you know, I tend to do Twitter stuff on Tuesday. Anyway, Neon Leon, good morning. And so I found a few things, but number one, that the top thing that I think that people were talking about was Kanye West. Kanye's got him triggered again because he had a fashion show, and at his fashion show, apparently this is the 9th year of his fashion. I didn't even know I wasn't aware that he had a big fashion show here. Apparently it was over in Spain. But he really got people, well, some people, pissed off and annoyed because of what he was wearing at his fashion show. But before I tell you about that, good morning, HP Lovecraft. Thank you for sponsoring the show also. And who says, happy birthday to the true chosen one. You know,
that's right.
Yes, that's right. Because Black Hebrew Israelites are the true chosen ones. LOL, now I'm a boomer, Black Hebrew Israelite says. Well, I don't know. Are you? Well, no. I don't think it matters what birthday you pass. It's kind of what birthday you started with is whether or not you're a boomer. But if people want to call you a boomer, it's all good. Anyway, so Kanye West decided, and, look, Kanye West is really good at getting people to talk about Kanye West because Kanye West likes to talk about Kanye West. It's one of his favorite things to talk about. Well, he got him going. I'll tell you, no, he didn't get caught stuffing his bra again. No. Even worse, Kanye West had the nerve to wear a shirt that said, White Lives Matter. And he was seen standing. Oh, I'm sorry. I kind of pushed the picture. He also had a picture with Candace Owens saying that White Lives Matter. And then he pissed people off even more by saying, everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam. Now it's over. You're welcome. Oh my God. The people lost their freaking minds. Now, Sonny, our friend Sonny Johnson, I love Sonny Johnson. I met her out at HotepCon, and she said, I want to do a live about Kanye. Who wants to host with me to prevent my inevitable rant. And I'm going to say, pick me. Here, in fact, I'm a reply to Sonny. Oh, the people have chosen. Got any free time today? Oh, good Lord. Shoot. I can't even reply to her. I mean, if you're game, just matters. Matter what time. Marketing genius by okay, there we go. Anyway, people talking about Kanye West here is funny. Now, it absolutely triggered some people. I got to tell you. But let's go through some of the tweets that are talking about this, because he's just, now look, to me, he's a marketing genius because he just gets people talking about him, right? A white lives matter. Oh, by the way, I forgot to tell you, I do have my cup of reparations here. Hang on a second. Let me get me back on here. I do have my cup of reparations today. In fact, I have a whole pot of reparations right here because the cup's very small and I'm going to need more coffee than this. But this is a cup that I got. Let's see, Gut Eichett. I got this. We went to a farm that was it in Austria or Germany? No, it was in just outside of Passau, Germany. And we had one of the side trips we took when we were over in Europe was it said it was going to be a beer fest, right? A traditional German beer fest, or just, party where you drink beer. And we weren't really sure what it was. And we ended up going to this farm, right? It was a farm up in the hills, up to the east of Passau. No, Passau. No, it was in Passau. That's where it was. And so they took us to this farm. We took a bus out to this farm, and everything on this farm, the people who lived there built themselves, or their ancestors built themselves, right? And they built this really nice horse arena. They had some horses and stuff. They built this entire horse arena just by lumber that they drug out of the Black Forest and, planed and basically built this giant arena. And they had this really nice house that they were turning it into an event center, right? And it was a really nice space. And then we went to this little house like on the other side down the path from the horse arena. And they had this little house that they built by hand, right? They built this house, had a little fireplace in there going, and everyone was sitting around there. And these four guys in there, these German guys with wearing lederhosen and all this stuff, were there and just basically teaching us about, or talking to us about how they produced beer there, and they produced it right there on the farm, and they had. They tapped a keg not like a wooden keg. They tapped a wooden keg of beer. You had to hit the hammer to hit the tap there, and then we drank beer. And then they did some German dances in their lederhosen, and we played some traditional Oktoberfest style games. Like, I don't know I think I talked about the hammer game, right? Well, we did that game, and we did the milk and cow game. This sounds like me talking about going to the Oktoberfest over here in a suburb south of us. But anyway, it was really cool, and the beer was awesome. They had everywhere we drank beer in Germany, it was like the best beer I ever tasted. Anyway, I'm not sure why I started talking about that. Oh, because I have this is where I got the cup, the little Gut Eichett cup. And it's about an 8-ounce cup. And the young guy that was taking us on the tour, he's like 22 years old. He's college age. I think he was a senior in college, and he does this, to make some money while he's in college. And he made the mistake of deciding to try to drink beer with me, which is a mistake. And I'll probably put that video up sometime. But, this little it might hold 8 ounces. I mean, it's a tiny cup, maybe 10 ounces, right? And for me, this is like one sip when I really want to be impressive. So he thought, oh, yeah, we're going to take a picture or a little video of us drinking beer. And he thought, yeah, he's charging me to drink beer. And that's like, this is like, for me. And he's like drinking it. And I went, and it was gone. And he's drinking it, he's choking because he's like, wait, did he just do that? Then he looks down at my cup and he goes, oh, well, I guess I need to learn something about drinking beer. Anyway, why I told that story? because of the cup. That's where the cup, it's gut achet, is where I got that from, and it's holding coffee today instead of beer. So let's go back to what the hell I was talking about. Kanye triggering everybody with his White Lives Matter shirt. So a lot of people are talking about this. Mark Lamont Hill, Kanye's West. Now this is beautiful. This is, if you're familiar with Mark Lamont Hill, who actually has had some debates with that woman right there, Candace Owen. I'm not going to yell at Candace Owen to get off my screen this time. Kanye West's decision to wear a White Lives Matter shirt is Prost. Yes, Jay Pollan, Prost. We did. We said Prost, and then I drank the beer about in a half a second, and he was slowly drinking it. Anyway, yes, Prost. That's German for cheers. Kanye West's decision to wear a White Lives Matter shirt is disgusting, dangerous, and irresponsible. Some of y'all will rush to defend him. You should ask yourselves why. You dumb motherfucker. Kanye's decision to wear a White Lives Matter t-shirt takes all the power out of it. Out of that, out of Black Lives Matter, out of any of this stupid conversation that we've been having. Now, is it a stupid conversation to talk about bad police officers? Absolutely not. Police officers do their job poorly or in a wrong way should be talked about. But the idea that Black Lives Matter, the organization, was anything but a money grab, it would make you foolish if you think otherwise. But of course Black Lives Matter. Of course lives matter. In fact, it's just lives matter, man. Lives matter. People matter. And although the sentiment of Black Lives Matter certainly was to draw attention, at least originally, to the issue that they wanted people to understand, it became a symbol of just grift after we found out what they've been doing with all the money that they've been taking in. So Kanye wearing this shirt is just an attention grabber, right? Now, I don't understand. I mean, Candace maybe thinking of making a joke of it because making a joke of Black Lives Matters. I get it. By the way, good morning, Jay Pylon. And also good morning, Scribe Light, Dog Thrapple. So anyway, so this guy who highlighted this, that Kanye is proving once again that the only thing that keepers of the culture police is unapproved political thought. You can rap about killing black men or degrading black women and get a PhD level defense, but don a MAGA hat or a WLM shirt and suddenly they find a moral compass. Oh, that's some deep shit right there. Also commenting. Wait, let's do the article though, because there's a couple articles. Now I'm going to skip the post-millennial article because I want to. There was one article. Oh my God, if I can find it, was talking about Kanye promoting fascism for wearing this shirt, which I found hilarious. I don't have that article anymore, but I have this one. I'll skip the post-millennial. That's Kanye. Oh, this is, we'll get back to Kanye calling Black Lives Matter a scam. But here's Complex, okay? Complex, I think, is a popular culture, hip-hop style, I don't know, hip-hop style, but music magazine. Kanye West wears a White Lives Matter t-shirt designed at Yeezy Season 9 presentation, which I didn't even know there was a Yeezy Season 8 7654. Good morning, Damian Gershwin, by the way. The artist, formerly known as, oh, by the way, they keep dead naming, I guess I did name Kanye West, because apparently he's legally changed his name to Yee. I didn't know that. I just found out. The artist formerly known as Kanye West. You know, you can't say that about Keffels, can you? The trans woman formerly known as, oh, don't say it! You get banned if you dead name a trans person. But Kanye West, you can dead name him. The artist formerly known as Kanye West wore a shirt emblazoned with the phrase, "White Lives Matter," on the back while addressing attendees at his Yeezy Season 9 presentation in Paris on Monday. Oh, I thought it was in Spain. I guess it was in Paris, not in Barcelona. Yee, who was also wearing his pair of previously headlined diamond-studded flip-flops. Diamond-studded flip-flops! Oh, my God. Was spotted in the shirt into the live stream experience. At the time of this writing, a detailed look at the full design of the t-shirt in question had not been disclosed, although the front does feature a Pope Paul II photo collage. Several models in the presentation were also seen wearing variations of the same design. Kanye in his White Lives Matter shirt. White Lives Matter, the Pope's on the front. So here's a video. Is this the model or is this Yee himself? Oh no, these are the models. Okay, they just took a very short video there. Candace Owens was also in attendance wearing a White Lives Matter t-shirt. And you know that got him going. There it is. There's Candace. Candace, get off my screen. Thank you. During his opening remarks on Monday, Yee touched on a variety of topics, including how certain outlets focused on the delayed start time of his prior event, when such delays were, in Yee's words, merely a side effect of trying to present the best idea. As for the White Lives Matter design, the phrase itself, of course, is often associated with very far-right ideology. Now, let me ask y'all something. Because this keeps coming up. Oh, this is a phrase that's been battered around by the far right and white supremacists and all this stuff. When Black Lives Matter, the idea, the organization, whatever, that popularized phrase, Black Lives Matter, came out, what was the most common response to people who maybe didn't feel in concert with that particular phrase? What was the most common phrase? Was it White Lives Matter? Anybody? Or was it something else? Anyone in the chat, just put what you thought. What was the most common phrase you heard when someone were having discussions about the phrase Black Lives Matter? What was it? Not No Lives Matter. Nope. Did you get a copyright claim on the Trail Stop stream? Oh, I'll talk about that later. Remind me at the end. Yes. Oh! Tyrannus Alexander St. Victor Soul wins. It was All Lives Matter, right? So when did this White Lives Matter design? The phrase itself, of course, is associated with various far-right ideologies and frequently used as is All Lives Matter et al. Among fervent Trump supporters. What Trump supporters are out there saying White Lives Matter? Please, show me some fucking examples. Oh, I swore. Show me some examples. I'm sorry. I haven't seen them. That's other than maybe the crowd that hangs out with, what's the dude, the goofy little dude that everybody hates, that he's kind of a conservative. He's the America First guy. What's that dickhead's name? Maybe someone in that group might have said it, but I've always heard All Lives Matter. Not among fervent Trump supporters have you heard the White Lives Matter. It's just bullshit. Anyway, in the past, Yee has expressed support for Trump and related assertions. So, okay, so here's some more video and pictures of him wearing the shirt. Let's see. Here he is laying on the ground in his diamond-studded flip-flops. Anyway, so there you go. Yeezy and White Lives Matter. So anyway, here's some. Let's hear some chatter about this. Nick Fuentes, yes, that moron. Not Ben Shapiro. Richard Spector. Spencer, you mean? No, yeah, Nick Fuentes, Groiper guy. That's who I meant. James Golly, what's happening? Anyway, and I'm racist. Yes, I am. Kanye West. And so here's a few tweets that I decided to highlight. Kanye West going from George Bush doesn't care about black people to Kanye West not caring about black people is wild. Wishing him nothing but the worst. Now, do you have evidence that Kanye West doesn't care about black people? Anyway, whatever, 5 Yashaftem, a.k.a. Dr. Durag. It's, look. Kanye West wants better for black people, but that better has to come from within the community, from within each individual black person. That's what Kanye's message is. And I think this White Lives Matter thing is just him. Again, it's some attention-getting stuff, but I think it's hilarious. All lives matter. I'm black, by the way. Anyway, we ain't on that either. Well, too bad. Anyway, so that's one of the ones. Now, there's another one. This one... I already put this one. Kanye is proving once again the only thing that keepers of the culture police is unapproved political thought. Okay, we already did that one. And then our friend Leon, Ruin Leon, he was on the show a couple months ago, said, I mean, when the organization did nothing but buy mansions with the millions of dollars they got from people who thought that they were helping the black community. And when niggas only care about black lives if a white person or a cop takes a life, Kanye is right. But y'all knew that. And what is he talking about? Well, Kanye said, BLM is a scam amid White Lives Matter shirt uproar. This is from the New York Post. Jesus ain't walking back his controversial fashion statement, despite fierce backlash from black celebrities, including a walkout from Jaden Smith. Oh no! Jaden Smith walked out of his show. If you didn't have a famous father, no one would know who you are, Jaden. Although you were the Karate Kid, the black Karate Kid, not the Ralph Macchio. But anyway. Ye is not apologizing for his controversial White Lives Matter attire during a Paris Fashion Week in Paris, France. In fact, the 45-year-old rapper recently doubled down on his criticism of Black Lives Matter in a Tuesday Instagram story. Quote, everyone knows that Black Lives Matter was a scam, he declared, seemingly referencing the group's multiple million-dollar scandals. Now it's over. You're welcome. The Chicago-born rapper was addressing the controversy that began after he donned a t-shirt emblazoned with White Lives Matter while staging a surprise Easy fashion show that showcased his season 9 clothing line. Various models, including Lauryn Hill's 18-year-old daughter, Saleh Marley, also hit the runway in shirts bearing the slogan, which was created by white supremacists in response to the Black Lives Matter movement. What? Was it white supremacists or just people going, well, that's dumb? And people matter. That's all I care about. That's funny they use that. This is the the New York Post saying this. Anyway, it has since been labeled a hate slogan by the Anti-Defamation League. Oh, fan-fucking-tastic. Hey, K-Show, what's up? So a bunch of the models were wearing it. Just showing you. Now, apparently, there's Jalen Smith who, needless to say, the inflammatory fashion statement sparked a firestorm of I almost said blacklash. Freudian slip from celebrities, including Mark Lamont Hill and Jaden Smith. I had to dip out, LOL, tweeted Smith after walking out of West's fashion show in protest. He continued his criticism in a series of follow-up tweets. True leaders lead. I don't care who it is. If I don't feel the message, I'm out. Black Lives Matter. We demand a more progressive future. That's what Jaden Smith said. Kanye West, and then of course, Mark Lamont Hill. We already read that one. Kanye West's decision to wear a White Lives Matter shirt is disgusting, dangerous, and irresponsible. He'll fumed on Twitter. Some of y'all wish to defend him. You should ask yourself why. Well, I defend him because there should be no power in this, and so Kanye wearing this takes power out of all of it. It takes power out of the Black Lives Matter organization because they're grifters. It takes power from the so-called the actual white supremacists who might use this phrase. It takes power away from them too. So more power to Kanye. But anyway. Oh, and then then they put a picture of Patrisse Cullors. In response to the outrage, West doubled down on his anti-BLM antics, along with the aforementioned statement that Jesus Walks singer had also posed with conservative pundit Candace Owen for a photo that showed them wearing matching WLM shirts, which also featured the Pope's face on the front. Both celebs have been outspoken in their criticism of Black Lives Matter, which has come under fire after BLM leaders allegedly embezzled money from the organization to fund their lavish lifestyles. About that word allegedly. Good morning, Lord Stanhope. Good morning, why are you so angry? Good morning, Select a Boy.
Yeah, boy.
Last month, BLM head Shalamea Bowers was accused of siphoning more than $10 million in fees from donors to pay for his consulting firm. Isn't that Patrice's brother? Black Lives Matters issued a statement afterwards denying any wrongdoing. Under Shalamaya's Bowers' leadership and the work of Bowers Consulting, BLM GNF has charted a path of responsibility. The statement read, the exact opposite of what Melina Abdullah and BLM Grassroots' baseless lawsuit claims. Meanwhile, in March, Black Lives Matter co-founder Patrisse Cullors allegedly used charity funds to pay her brother and her child's father eye-watering sums of cash for various services, according to tax documents filed with the IRS. Her child's father. I thought she was a lesbian. Anyway, Cullors issued a statement after admitting to throwing parties with funds but denying further wrongdoing. The idea that the foundation received millions of dollars and then I hid those dollars in my bank account is absolutely false, she said. That's a false narrative. It's impacted me personally and professionally. Oh, no. Oh, poor Patrisse. That's a false narrative. It's impacted me personally and professionally that people would accuse me of stealing from black people. Well, I'm not accusing you of stealing from black people because mostly white people donated to Black Lives Matter. So you're stealing from white people. Okay? You're stealing from white people and black people and corporations because corporations went whole hog on your ass. And you got some nice houses out of it, 3 of them. Excuse me. 3 of them. So let's continue. Enough of Black Lives Matter. Let's talk about the next thing. But before we do, thank you, Tyler Alexander, for sponsoring the show. Appreciate you. You are also the co-superstar sponsor of the day.
You are the new Streamlabs superstar sponsor.
We're dropping a bullet in the
day.
tip jar. Thank you very much. He said, "Did you hear there's a religious schism and growing civil war between BLM and BLM grassroots over BLM? It is a beautiful disaster, and I love watching them eat themselves." Yeah, no, because BLM is the one. Well, there's 2. Okay, so there's 2 groups. They both have their different places where they've raised money, and I don't know the whole story. We might have to look that one up, but yeah, it's they're fighting over who got the money, where the money went. You're so fine, there's no telling where the money went. Somebody knows what that is. All right, let's move on. Herschel Walker is also trending today. And Herschel Walker, well, it's not for good things. And let me just preface this as I've thought from the very beginning of Herschel Walker's candidacy that I was shocked that anyone thought Herschel Walker should be running for the Senate. Herschel Walker is not the brightest bulb in the tool shed. Or he's not the, wait, there's a funny line where you go, Herschel Walker is not Herschel Walker is not the sharpest bulb in the tool shed. That's when you kind of get too many that mess them up. But anyway, yes, Avocados Diablo, you got it. Simply irresistible. Okay, Herschel Walker has a little bit of controversy happening right now because apparently, well, for a couple things. One, apparently he's 100% pro-life, running as a Senate candidate in the state of Georgia. And it has been revealed that he apparently funded a former lady friend's abortion back in 2009. So, you know how it's going to go. He's running for the Senate. He's a Republican, and they're going to dig up dirt on him, right? But also because of something his son said. Christian Walker, I don't know if you're familiar with Christian Walker. Christian Walker is a very flamboyant young man from the community of the Alphabets, and he's been very supportive of his dad. He's also, he's even though he's very, he's an unequivocally gay man, which is fine. I don't care. He still was supporting his father for a long time. But recently, there's controversy about something Christian Walker said on Twitter. That was yesterday. And he flamed his father with this statement. I know my mom and I would really appreciate if my father, Herschel Walker, stopped lying and making a mockery of us. You're not a family man when you left us to bang a bunch of women, threatened to kill us, and had us move over 6 times in 6 months, running from your violence. I don't care about someone who has a bad past and takes accountability, but how dare you lie and act as though you're some moral Christian upright man? You've lived a life of destroying other people's lives. How dare you? Wow. Now, this is the same Christian Walker that not that long ago said this. Thankful I had a black father who empowered me to be a victor and supported me in my endeavors instead of pouring victimhood into me and telling me I'm oppressed. Happy Father's Day, Herschel Walker. That was from back in 2021, I guess, or 2020. But anyway, this flaming is as Herschel Walker and what's his name, Ralph Warnock, were tied for the Senate race. Senator Warnock were tied for the Senate race in the state of Georgia, and it's funny because some people are saying, well, I'll get to it in a minute because it's funny. Oh, what's Ely Mistel? That the guy who looks like the giant Q-tip. Well, he looks like a fat Q-tip. He looks like a well, never mind. He was saying that, if you're people who are going to vote for Walker, they must be really desperate if they're thinking of voting for him. And I'm like, well, maybe it's just because Democrats suck so bad. But anyway, so Walker was gaining momentum in Georgia, and it was looking like, as far as polls go, he was actually leading Warnock in the polls, which I don't know how. Walker's not a smart man. He's a nice guy, probably, but maybe he screwed up with his family. But he was a tremendous athlete, one of the greatest athletes to come out of Georgia. He was a great football player, and then he had even in the recent years, he even has been fighting MMA, and he's done okay in that. But this little bit by his son out of the blue is blowing people away. And then you add in the fact that this article, the Daily Beast, that came out, which I don't know why my computer's not working, Pro-life Herschel Walker paid for a girlfriend's abortion. The woman has receipts and a get-well card. She says the football star, now the Senate candidate, sent her. Now, of course, it's the Daily Beast, and they're looking for ways to take down anyone who's running as a Republican. But anyway, Herschel Walker, the football legend now running for the Georgia Senate in Georgia, says he wants to completely ban abortion, likening it to murder and claiming there should be no exception for rape and incest or the life of the mother. Now, I don't know if he said that. Something interesting is happening here. Because I was watching, during my break this morning, I was watching TV, and there were a couple ads for a House candidate here in Minnesota. And it seems like a tactic that the Democrats are jumping onto, that any candidate who is for any kind of abortion restrictions, they're saying that they want to ban all abortions, including rape and incest, really emphasizing including rape and incest as a scare tactic. And a lot of these candidates are just, some of them are just saying, hey, maybe we shouldn't allow abortions under any circumstances at any time during the pregnancy, because some Democrats who seem to say that, right? I mean, there's some candidates, like, let's take, for example, the governor of Georgia. What's her name? What's the governor of Georgia's name? The one that looks like Fat Albert. God, did I just... That's Monkey's joke. I shouldn't be stealing jokes from Ranting Monkey, but it is funny. Stacey Abrams. So she thinks that there should be no restrictions on abortion at any time during the pregnancy. But that idea doesn't get published a lot, but she has actually said that. And in fact, what did she say the other day? The fact that she said the heartbeat, you remember the heartbeat thing? That there is no such thing as a fetus having a heartbeat at 6 weeks. That's just some fake shit, she said. So there's a lot of, but in this case, they're saying any Republican who is saying there should be any kind of restrictions or ban on abortion, even in the cases of rape and incest. Well, if you ask those same people, okay, remember, I am pro-choice to a point. I think there should be restrictions, but initially I think there's pro-choice, right? Yes, the president of Earth, Stacey Abrams. Stop me, Teddy, what's happening? So, but they're saying that any Republican who wants restriction on abortion says they want to ban all abortions regardless of circumstances, rape, incest, whatever. And my question to those people, well, okay, fine. Let's say that we, in the cases of rape and incest, okay, let's say we capitulate and say that's okay. Then would you be okay if we banned abortions? And they're like, no, no restrictions at all. Oh, well, then what does it matter if it's for cases of rape or incest? You don't even care. You wouldn't stop any abortions. Now, it was funny because one of the ads that I saw this morning, it was a doctor, and she was railing against one of the local congressional candidates, right? And the graphic, because this is interesting, the way she said this, and I this has nothing to do with Herschel Walker, but this is interesting the way she said this. She said that the candidate that she's against wants to end abortion. And I was thinking to myself, why wouldn't you want to end abortion? Is there a reason you wouldn't want to end? Think of the words I'm saying here. Whether you're pro-choice or pro-life, you should want to end abortions, right? We would want to be able to not have the need or desire for abortions. Wouldn't that be just incredible? That would be great, wouldn't it? Like the way the doctor was saying, because this is a doctor who performs abortions. Well, if we were able to do that in a way that, if there was some technology we could do that to make contraception perfect, we wouldn't need abortions, would we? And that would be a good thing because, look, even though I think personally that it should be legal, I think it's a barbaric practice. You know, just like some people think circumcision, male circumcision, or any circumcision is a barbaric practice. Well, if circumcision is a barbaric practice, I think destroying a fertilized egg that's been implanted in the womb would also be a barbaric practice. If you aborted some dog's puppies for experiments, that'd be a barbaric practice, right? So, you know, kind of like, I don't know if you saw Bill Burr talking about this baking a cake. It's like, yeah, I mean, it probably should be legal, but you are killing a baby. Oh, no, it's a fetus. It's a fetus. It's just a fetus. That's a baby. It's like, you know, his analogy was, yeah, well, you know, you put I'm making a cake and you put the cake in the oven. It's in the oven for 5 minutes and someone goes there and throws it out and say, what are you doing? You're throwing out a cake. Well, that's not cake. It's just batter. Well, it was going to be a cake. All right. That's Bill Burr's joke. Anyway, so back to Herschel Walker. But the Republican candidate has supported at least one exception for himself. A woman who asked not to be identified out of privacy concerns told the Daily Beast that after she and Walker conceived a child while they were dating in 2009, he urged her to get an abortion. The woman said she had the procedure and that Walker reimbursed her for it. She supported the claims with a $575 receipt from the abortion clinic and a get well card from Walker and a bank deposit receipt that included an image of a signed $700 personal check from Walker. The woman said there was a $125 difference because of she ballparked the cost of an abortion after Googling the procedure and added on expenses just travel and recovery cost. Additionally, the Daily Beast independently corroborated details of the woman's claim with a close friend she told at the time, who, according to the woman and the friend, took care of her in the days after the procedure. So the Daily Beast writes a whole article on Herschel Walker paying for an abortion. So anyway, just a couple people talking about this. Monica Matthews, a friend of the show's, says the Walker family travesty, while made public, is no way anyone's business to judge. It's a horrific example of how the enemy kills families with painful mistakes that take years to overcome. It's best to let family handle family. This is personal. Show decency. Nah, that ain't happening. No one's going to be showing decency. Christian Walker, I'm sorry you're hurting. Breathe and stop replying to the people who don't care about you or your family. Please take this up privately. Herschel Walker, you're both being used. Make it right. Good advice. Christian Walker should not be engaging with the assholes who hate him and hate his father and hate anyone who is remotely on the right. The fact, yes, a Christian shouldn't have made this public. Well, you know, they're limelight seekers, and I mean the Walkers. I don't mean anything other than, I'm not thinking demographic or personality or anything. They just like the limelight, and Christian Walker loves the limelight. But yeah, they gotta figure this out as a family. Also, Aaron Rupar though. Aaron Rupar, you know who Aaron Rupar is. This jackass. The Herschel Walker revelations tonight remind me a bit of the October 2016 release of the Access Hollywood tape where Trump bragged about groping women. Did he now? And as we all know, that was the end of the line for Trump. So Herschel is done. Now, shall we have a reminder for Aaron Rupar that it was the end of the line for Trump? Really? Well, I know President Clinton thought so, because President Clinton talked about it during her entire term as president of the United States. That, you know, that Access Hollywood tape put her over the top. What a dumbass. Herschel is done. Yeah. Let's see. I want to see if anyone remembers that Trump actually won the election, because he's like, as we all know, that was the end of the line for Trump. So Herschel is done. Was it? Trump won. I don't know if he's being sarcastic. Maybe. Aaron Rupar, it's hard to tell. I'm just saying, this is far worse. Walker repeatedly threatened violence against his own family. Did he now? We don't care. Walker's 100 times better than any Democratic Party hack, even if this is true. Interesting. Next, he'll propose rolling back laws that make it illegal to kick puppies and punch babies. He says he's a theologian, but he should have been a politician. One slippery character. Okay, I don't know what that means. And I don't think anyone thinks he's done, but it was clearly breaking point for one of Walker's more outspoken offspring. It points out GOP's continued hypocrisy around abortion, and it gives him one or two negative news cycles right before early voting in Georgia starts. Well, it could come off that way, or it could just come off as an attack by the attack dogs. Who knows? But now, here's an opinion that I tend to agree with, though. Look, if Walker wins, he wins. But let's stop pretending he's some put upon woe is me politician. He's not a good candidate, and judging by his own family's words, he's hardly a decent person. Doesn't mean he can't be a senator. Ain't that true? Chuck Schumer and there's a lot of shitty senators. Anyway, but we don't have to pretend he's an angel either. Yes, absolutely. That is very good. And then he continues, he was always a horrific candidate. As I've said many times, Kent may pull him over the finish line, but that's the only way he wins. He does have a debate coming up where the bar is so low for him that if he gets one complete sentence out of his mouth, he may get over it. I think the debate's been canceled to this. Hello, Neckbeth. What up? Anyway, Neckbreath, have you been here before? That's the first time I've seen your name in this chat, or either that I remember. I'm not sure. Why are they being so hateful? Doesn't even Herschel Walker have that spark of divinity Nancy Pelosi said all God's children have? If anything, it makes him the perfect candidate for a senator. Yeah, there's some shitty people in the United States Senate. I just got to tell you, the smarmy prick from New York always comes to mind first. But I think of Richard Blumenthal too. He's a dickhead. Walker should debate Fetterman. Yeah, you know. All right, it's Sonny Johnson. Oh, if you're willing to admit you'll vote for Walker because Republicans need the seat, at least learn the damn lesson. Yes, that's exactly right, Sonny. Learn your lesson. There were better candidates in Georgia, by the way. But Herschel Walker won with some help from Donald Trump and name recognition, obviously, because he's a very popular man in Georgia. But, oh, my God, what a terrible candidate. Now, there are some people who worked, I know that are down in Georgia, that were just scratching their head. How did we let this happen? Because they knew a lot more about Herschel Walker than the general public did, and they're just like, oh my God, you got to be kidding me. So anyway, given the two choices, I'd prefer Biden not have a rubber stamp at the moment. Well, who knows? This is tough. Same thing going on in Pennsylvania with Oz. Yeah, with Oz too. I mean, at least Oz is can finish a sentence. I don't know about Herschel Walker. Herschel Walker talks about Herschel Walker in the third person, and that tells you a lot, okay? All right, moving on. Also trending on Twitter today is Velma. Velma from the Scooby-Doo. Why is Velma trending? Well, Velma's trending because apparently in the new cartoon, I don't know, I probably should, oh shit, I gotta be careful when I do this because you never know if someone's gonna have some porn Velma on the screen, so I'm gonna take it off the screen for now. Anyway, apparently there's a new Scooby-Doo cartoon, and they're making sure everyone knows that Velma is a lesbian. Apparently she sees some woman that she's attracted to and starts blushing and stuff. So to everyone in the comments calling Velma a bi icon, just a reminder that she has been confirmed a lesbian with Comfet on multiple occasions. That's why her relationships with Shaggy and Mystery Inc. was so uncomfortable. Are you sure? Because she did have a relationship with Shaggy. Velma comes out as canonically lesbian in the new Scooby-Doo movie, Trick or Treat. Thank God someone finally let us know that Velma licks. Never mind. I should restrain myself. Velma was one of those characters that a lot of young boys thought, she looks weird, but she has the big hoots and whatever, the weird, they gave her that weird look about her. Yep, see, now I just realized why I should have left this. Why this is not on the screen right now as I scroll, because as I guessed, yes, there's some Scooby-Doo porn as I roll down. Daphne checks Velma for ghosts. Yes, we're not going to show you that picture because, well, two very gay Velma scenes in the new movie are being shared online. Holy shit, they actually did it. That's LGBTQ Nation. Velma is a bi icon. Shut the fuck up. She's a lesbian with cohet, and it's canon. People are really invested in Velma being a lesbian. I'm just saying, they're really invested in it. Oh, and here's the part. Okay, if you want to, I'll leave this thread available to you. The other reason I'm hiding the thread is because I could get copyright struck for just showing the visuals, even without the sound on. And by the way, if you were watching the Trail Stop stream on Saturday, that is what happened. I just looked it up. I didn't get a copyright strike, but I got a copyright claim, and here's why. So while we were in the Trail Stop, there's a TV that you can see in the background where we were, Lady Boomer and I were just talking with you and who were here, right? And at first I thought when I saw what happened, because it shut down the stream, and I thought, oh, maybe it's because of football. But wait, it didn't, because football was playing the whole time. But what happened was one of the football games got over, and they showed a rerun of Undercover Boss on the screen behind me. There was no sound, but the visual of that was on the TV screen. You could see it behind me and Lady Boomer, and that's when the stream stopped. It immediately stopped, and I just got a notification from YouTube that it wasn't a strike, but it was a copyright claim, and it's not. You cannot watch that. You cannot watch that anywhere. They took it down, and so I'm gonna appeal it, because clearly that's incidental visuals in the background of a live stream on location that has nothing to do with the show. It has no bearing on. It was not a part of the show. It was some incidental visuals in the background of a live stream that had nothing to do with it, and I wasn't using the that imagery for part of the show or as anything. So sometimes those shows will say, okay, we'll just, fuck it, we don't care. That's not, you didn't use it for that. And then they'll put the stream back up. But they took the stream down completely because of that. So anyway, so great. At least now we know that Velma's a lesbian. Hopefully they don't have a sex scene. It's a cartoon and it's for kids. So, but I don't know why here's the problem that I'm having right now. Why is this important? Oh, see, there's another one. There's another Velma who's just, see, this is why I didn't put it on screen. There's a black Velma showing her hoots, and I should probably stop looking at that because, I am a happily married man. Anyway, all right, should we move on? Let's talk about John Fetterman, and then we're going to call it a day because I'm almost out of time. So, yesterday in the Washington Examiner, there was this article about John Fetterman. Now, there's a couple things that are happening with John Fetterman. I don't know why I'm talking about Senate races today, but let's talk about John Fetterman. In this article here, the columnist says there's no there there. Fetterman's problems go beyond his health. Okay? Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. A couple hundred diehard supporters of John Fetterman's campaign stood in the pouring rain Saturday morning in a Pittsburgh parking lot, a scene reminiscent of the former President Donald Trump supporters who stood in the rain for his rally in Greensburg in May. They were all waiting to hear him spell out the reasons why he should be the next senator from Pennsylvania. The event began with special guest, former Steelers running back Franco Harris, who delivered a mellow 90-second speech on why Fetterman should win in November. By the way, I have met Franco Harris. I've shaken hands with Franco Harris. Back when the Super Bowl was in the Twin Cities in 1991, Franco Harris came in the restaurant where I was working as a bartender, and I was helping seat people because we were really super busy that week. We did $125,000 that week in sales at a TGI Fridays. Anyway, so Franco Harris, this is my Franco Harris story. Now, I'm a large man. I'm 6'4". I'm almost, close to 300 pounds. I was an athlete. I have big old hands and shit. Franco Harris is about, I would say, maybe 6 feet, 6'1". And when I met him, and I'm like, hey, how you doing, Franco Harris? But I'm shaking hands. He's got a couple of his Super Bowl rings on his hand. And I go to shake hands with him. Now, I'm tall, and I'm fairly big dude, right? I got wide shoulders and shit. This dude, his shoulders probably were wider by an inch on each side of me. And now, one of Franco Harris's claim to fame is he almost never fumbled the football. And I found out why when I shook his hands, okay? When I shook Franco Harris's hand, and I have big hands. I have big-ass hands. When I shook his hands, it felt like someone took a towel and wrapped it completely around my hands, and it was like, those are the biggest hands I've ever shook hands with in my life. And I've shaken hands with some 7-foot basketball players. Franco Harris's hands were huge. And I'm like, okay, that explains why he never dropped the football. I couldn't believe how big his hands were. Anyway, that was my Franco Harris story. I digress. Harris said, very, very important race in Pennsylvania. Certain people are using tactics to discourage our votes. What? What? Okay, he's talking out of his ass. But you know what? We will vote. We will vote. The crowd responded with, we will vote. We will vote. Harris added, I'll say it once again. We will win. We will win. We'll win because your vote will make a difference. Your one vote. So remember, we will vote. We will vote. We will vote for John Fetterman. Here we go, baby. That was very profound. And that was it. Harris is followed by Pittsburgh Mayor Ed Gainey, Democrat and first black mayor of the city, who turned the volume up 100 decibels to deliver a fiery and divisive speech about fear. We've got someone that's on the opposite side that has told us straight that they want to take us back to yesterday. Probably meant slavery, I'm sure. They want to take our rights from us. What? And we've got John Fetterman for us on this side that wants to uphold our rights and make sure that everybody has opportunities to assets and that everybody has opportunity to the government, and they want to speak. They want to make it hard for us to vote. Yeah, Mr. Mayor. Mr. Mayor! They want to take our voting rights away from us, Mr. Mayor! They want to send us back to yesterday instead of creating a path of prosperity for us tomorrow. Mr. Mayor of Pittsburgh. Good God, what an idiot. Gainey was followed by the second lady of Pennsylvania, Gazelle Fetterman. What? Wait, the second lady of, because he's the lieutenant governor, who, in introducing her husband, said that Mehmet Oz was running on hate, lies, and division. Fetterman then took the stage to the Styx 1979 song Renegade. The renegade we had a man and it don't abound. Waving a Steelers terrible towel, he started making his pitch to his faithful followers. I'm overwhelmed. Franco Harris, that's pretty Western Pennsylvania, right? What's the opposite of Western Pennsylvania? He had an answer for that one. Dr. Oz, referring to his Republican opponent. Now he continued, let me ask you a question. How many of you going to want to tailgate with Dr. Oz? What? What? Fetterman went on with several stumbles over the next 10 minutes. He talked about sandwiches, salads, French fries on salads, more salads, and how Dr. Oz is rooting for him to stay sick, and his most reliable tropes, crudites, and protecting marriage equality. He said that Dr. Oz wanted to ban abortion with no exceptions and that he reduced crime while mayor of the borough of Braddock. Wait, what? He was a crime. We'll get to it. Then he left the stage. It speaks volumes that none of the speakers, including Fetterman himself, addressed the issues that polls show to be utmost importance to the voters of the state: inflation, increasing crime, and the drug epidemic. Harris didn't. Gainey didn't. And Gainey really should, as the city of Pittsburgh has staggering three-pronged crime, homelessness, and drug overdose problems that is at historic levels and driving residents and businesses outside the city limits. Fetterman's speech lacked any mention of the crippling inflation affecting people across the socioeconomic demographics of the state, and not once did he mention the crime wave that is sweeping not just the inner cities of Pittsburgh and Philly, but the suburban collar counties as well. Fetterman's only mention of crime was his bragging that he lowered the crime in Braddock while he was mayor, but it isn't true. Available data measuring crime in the borough between 2005 and 2018 show that violent crime went up under his leadership, not down. So anyway, there's more, but it's all bun and no meat, if you know what I mean. Anyway, now there's some funny things about Mr. Fetterman that have come up recently. Apparently, this is fascinating. Let me show you a little video here, and I'll read you the little caption first. When John Fetterman was mayor of Braddock, he vandalized a local Black-owned business. Now, apparently, it seems that Mr. Fetterman might have a problem with black people, because we know about the whole shotgun incident, right? He chased a jogger down with a shotgun, and we talked about that yesterday. Well, now he vandalized a Black-owned business. Fetterman wanted to send a message that the government was going to shut down the Black nightclub. This was a TV news story about Fetterman's vandalism at the time. So here's the TV news clip. Let's get it to the beginning. There we go.
And get this, it is showing that man right there. He is a local mayor, and believe it or not, what he's headed to do, he's about to vandalize the sign at a local business in his town.
Black-owned business. Black-owned business.
The mayor admitted he did it.
Mayor John Fetterman shows us how he rearranged the wording on a club.
Hang on. Club 804. Now, this is possible. That's a Black-owned business, and it might, not 100% sure, but might be a strip club. But I don't know what he did. But anyway, here we go. Now, I don't know what he did.
He doesn't even own. He actually knew he was captured by surveillance cameras.
Oh, he knew he was captured by surveillance cameras.
But he didn't care. In fact, he says he wanted to be seen on camera.
I know that they have cameras out front, and it was my way of putting them on notice. So it was a very public way that I chose to, put them on notice that, hey, we're going to shut you down.
And get this, it is showing that man right there. He is a local mayor.
I'm just showing him do it again.
Headed to do, he's about to vandalize the sign at a local business.
So the mayor of the town, or whatever this is, vandalized the sign. It's totally a strip club. It probably is. But still, it's a Black-owned business. Why are you messing with Black-owned businesses, John Fetterman? Now, the RNC, of course, here is John Fetterman saying he's happy to release. Oh, this is good. Let's pause this for a second. Here's John Fetterman saying he is happy to release a first-degree murderer who stabbed a man 26 times with garden shears, then tried to hire a cop to kill his accomplice. Here's John. When's this from? I don't even know what this is from. Let's see what this is.
I'm happy that he's going to be going home to his family, and that even if you're not moved by, again, the morality of having these folks go back home, despite serving sentences that were in excess to what the crime was.
What? He's a first-degree murder, stabbed a man 26 times with garden shears. How's he even going home? I'm not sure.
From a financial burden, that's no longer on the state and the taxpayers.
Okay, there's...
Certainly, there can always be. I'm happy.
Okay, I don't even know what happened here. Is this oh my God, what? Why is John Hawkins showing a Willie Horton ad? Anyway, so anyway, that's that is John Fetterman. That's brilliant. Now I also have, what is this over here? No, I don't need that. Anyway, folks, I'm gonna call it a day. Hang on a second. Just make sure. Oh! I do want to touch on the what's his name? Darrell Brooks. The Darrell Brooks trial started, and so here's the beginning of the trial. We'll talk about this real quick, and then I'm going to go. Darrell Brooks, the Waukesha guy who drove through the crowd and tried to kill people, and he's kind of a hates white people kind of thing, right? Alleged Waukesha parade killer Darrell Brooks disrupt first day of trial with bizarre antics. Now, if you weren't aware, Darrell Brooks is defending himself. And I don't know if he finally ended up, the judge finally made him take a lawyer or not, but he's defending himself. As far as I know, I don't know if that's changed. The man accused of fatally mowing down 6 parade goers during a Waukesha Christmas parade in Wisconsin last year was tossed from the court multiple times for a series of strange outbursts on Monday. Darrell Brooks disrupted proceedings ahead of a jury selection, forcing a judge to take numerous breaks and to eventually instruct him to participate from another room. Brooks, who is representing himself, bizarrely interrupted Waukesha County Judge Jennifer Doro, arguing he did not recognize her as a judge or the state of Wisconsin. Uh-oh, is he pulling a sovereign citizen thing here? I'm just curious. This would not shock me at all. That'd be hilarious. He could be seen at one point leaning his arms on the table with his suit jacket pulled up over his head. I am Cornholio. I need TP for my butthole. I am Cornholio. I need TP for my butthole. Oh my God. I should be watching this trial. I'm sorry. Brooks is facing 6 first-degree intentional homicide charges and 61 counts of reckless endangerment that could lead him to life behind bars if convicted on any of the homicide charges. Before possible jurors even entered the courtroom Monday, Brooks was sent back to his cell because of his outbursts. Every time he came back, Brooks kept acting out, asking Doro to state her name and questioning the court's jurisdiction before the judge ordered him into another room where he participated through video. Doro called 10 recesses on the trial the first day and threatened to appoint Brooks an attorney. Brooks' combative behavior is nothing new. In August, during a pre-trial hearing, he was escorted out of the courtroom for his behavior. At one point during pre-trial hearings, Doro told Brooks to stop playing games as he laughed in court. He originally pleaded not guilty due to mental disease, but pulled that plea back in September and last week convinced Doro to let him represent himself despite his wild courtroom actions. About 340 prospective jurors could be called before 16 people are finally chosen, Doro said in court documents. 12 people would determine a verdict, while the other 4 would sit as alternatives. Jury selection could last 3 to 4 days. If this keeps going this way, jury selection could last even longer. Now, what's fascinating is this asshole, the most fascinating part to me is this asshole acting as his own attorney. No, bitch, I need an admiral. And next thing you know, he's going to be saying, I need a lawyer, dog. And I ain't helping him. I'm not helping him. For those of you who don't know, one of my nicknames is Lawyer Dog. But holy shit. Let's see here. Now, I was gonna, you know what? Let me give you this. I'm gonna have you leave the morning report from Ace of Spades here from J.J. Sefton too, because I wanted to see his before I go. Maybe go through his. Let's see. Good morning, kids. Tuesday surprise. It's October surprise time. 5 weeks to go until the midterms, and Herschel Walker, by all indications, in prime position to beat wife-beating Warnock at a minimum, enough of a clear margin to beat the cheat, if not deliver an ass kicking. Someone comes out of the woodwork to slime him, claiming that Walker, who is ostensibly pro-life, paid for some random dame to have an abortion way back when. Let me state four things categorically and for the record. So this is J.J. Sefton. I didn't even read his report this morning because I didn't get home in time. Usually I read this before I start the show. Here's 4 things for the record. 1, there's no doubt a ham-fisted, pathetic bullshit claim that reeks to high heavens of desperation. If it were true, it would have come out ages ago, probably in the immediate wake of the Dobbs decision that effectively overturned Roe versus Wade. The fact that it didn't, and the fact that every Democrat that is facing disaster or has what was considered a safe seat actually in play for our side is now running on this issue, shows how absolutely bereft they are of real record. Yes, that I've seen the ads in Minnesota. I mean, I'm like, especially they love the line, no exceptions for rape or incest. It's on every ad. And I'm like, what? Are you sure? Because I don't know this guy's record. But anyway, the ruination of our economy and society does not make for a winning platform, especially in the wake of ruination. 2, abortion is now clearly not a winning issue for Democrats with the majority of the American electorate. The latter, or greater or lesser extents, is unambiguously in favor of, at minimum, some restrictions on prenatal infanticide, not to mention postnatal infanticide. 3, Mohammed Oz, despite his baggage of being a dual citizen, as well as an Oprah taint, is minimally within striking distance of Lumpy Fetterman and quite possibly positioned to pull off a win. So it's kind of shocking that Lumpy's subcutaneous satellite that is marginally smaller than the Death Star has yet to step forward and announce having an exhaust port perpetrated by Oz's Turkish delight against its will a long time ago in a galaxy far away. I'm sorry, I had a hard time reading that because I was trying not to laugh. As for Ron Johnson, I don't think Mandela Barnes, a warmed-over Huey Newton retread without the leather jacket and beret, even in a state whose capital was and remains an epicenter of the progressive cancer that has laid us low, has a shot. Of course, considering what happened in 2020, especially in Pennsylvania, Georgia, and Wisconsin, I'm not going to say a freaking thing more until every last vote from every last 76 Buick LeSabre trunk is counted, a process that takes months, and our team remains on top. It's hateful to me beyond my capacity to express it that to even have to acknowledge that the caveat of having enough votes to beat the cheat is sometimes or something that just comes with the territory and business as usual in the United States of America. Then again, this is no longer the United States of America, and so many other things are so equally hateful that it's a miracle my head has yet to explode, or that I haven't been arrested for acting upon some of the thoughts that go through my head every friggin' evening and morning as I ponder the headlines. Finally, number 4, assuming that just for a nanosecond that there is even a scintilla of truth to the accusation against Walker, hell, even assuming that it's 100% true, I don't give a flying fuck. Even if we're proven that Walker or any candidate, especially one that is not just a GOP phony confederate, did something even worse than that, all of us as Americans now face an existential threat to our personal liberty and safety so dangerous and so direct that any skeleton from any said candidate's past would be an irrelevancy. Saki circling back to the pondering of headlines and other dystopian American scenarios, here are a couple that should make the blood get up to a slow simmer. First, Veep Throat Kamala Harris, whose sole political talent lies in having ingested a super tanker-sized quantity of semen faster than a KC-135 could pump into the mains of a B-52 might be preternaturally a glittering jewel of vapidity, but she's not stupid. She's an ugly, in-your-face racist. Quote, he writes with flair, I got to tell you. I know we are all thinking about the families in Florida and Puerto Rico with Hurricane Fiona and what we need to do to help them in terms of an immediate response and aid, Vice President Harris said at the Democratic National Committee's Women Leadership Forum in September 30th. We have to address this in a way that is about giving resources based on equity, understanding that we fight for equality, but we also need to fight for equity, understanding that not everyone starts out at the same place. And if we want people to be in an equal place, sometimes we have to take into account those disparities. No. We talked about this yesterday. Sadnam Doom, a senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute, delivered this derisive retort. If a hurricane hits a state, we should expect the government to help all those affected. Black, brown, red, yellow, white. We are all precious in his sight. Jesus loves all the children of the world. No, that's not what he said. And there is no such thing as communities of color. Real people don't talk like this. The Biden junta talks like this. Indeed, alleged Vice President Harris' referral to equity run as the guiding policy directing hurricane relief assistance followed President Biden's executive order 13985 that he issued on this first day in office, entitled, quote, Advancing Racial Equity Run and Support for Underserved Communities Through the Federal Government. In keeping with his executive order, the first stated goal of the Biden junta, Federal Emergency Management Agency, which is supposed to dispense federal aid equally to anyone in need because of a natural disaster, is all about instilling equity run as its foundation. This requires, according to FEMA's website, concentrating on underserved communities and specific identity groups. Supreme Court, can we get a ruling? In short, Biden's junta concept of equity means giving priority to people collectively based on group identity over individuals who are in desperate need of assistance but have the wrong skin color or are considered too rich. Isn't that rich? Aside from the racialism aspect, which is horrendous enough, remember that Florida and its governor are the political nemesis for the junta, since the citizenry of that state voted against them by voting DeSantis and Republicans in, they are, in the junta's eyes, worthy of pain, suffering, and death. The calculus is also to try to make Florida's non-white citizens equate the suffering in the wake of hurricane as that of intentional racist policies direct from DeSantis' desk in Tallahassee. Fortunately, I've seen anecdotal stories of Black and Latino Floridians rejecting that narrative. We saw that video yesterday, right? And then this go on farther. Let's see. Oh, no surprise that mop-top Malvo-munching mouthpiece Karine Jean-Pierre had to walk Harris's statement back. That is not what the vice president said. The vice president was clearly talking about the long-term investment, not FEMA, Federal Emergency Management, for hurricane response efforts. The vice president said the president and the vice president have been clear. That's one of her favorite lines. They have been clear that the federal government has been and will continue to be there for all Americans recovering from these devastating storms, as we're seeing the president and first lady do today, and we'll see them clearly in Florida on Wednesday. We are committed to quickly getting resources to all communities impacted, period. She continued, full stop. But we will also note that some people, particularly of lower income, have a hard time accessing that help. That is why this administration has made it a priority to remove barriers and ensure that everyone, regardless of their zip code, and that's what she was talking about. Oh, isn't that special? Aside from the laughable attempt to insist Harris didn't say what she said, notice what Jean-Pierre did say, emphasis mine, which translates directly from jive as America is an irredeemably racist white supremacist nation and Florida is the epicenter of it. Some walk back. I speak jive and I will take my certifications from Ibram X. Crement, available later. And then he goes on to something that Robert Spencer wrote, but I'm going to skip that because it's time to go. Hey, I gave you the bonus 10 minutes for the bonus lateness I was having today. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to thank you for being here today at the Morning Night Live. For those of you who are still here, please remember to hit the like button before you go. Share the stream before, during, and after the show. Put a comment in the comments section if you're watching on replay. In fact, what do you think of what Kamala Harris said about hurricanes and equity? That's the question of the day. And finally, please sponsor the show at some time in your life. It doesn't have to be today, if you're able, by the way. Not if you're having, I know the inflation sucks, so it becomes slim pickings, but PDogNight.live is a place you can do that. That's where the prioritized chats go when you don't want to give Susan 30%. Or if you're more concerned about, I don't know. If you super chats are cool too. Venmo, Cash App in the description down below. And if you watch the show at PDogNight.live, you can watch the show, you can participate in the chat, and you can donate to the show or sponsor the show, whichever you want to call it. Thanks to our sponsors today, John Mig, to H.P. Lovecraft, and Tyre Alexander. You are all superstars today. Thank you for being here. I got to go. My name is P-Dog Nate. And I am out of here. Bye-bye. Hey, this is P-Dog Night, and thank you for watching today on the P-Dog Night channel. If you have an observation or remark you'd like to make about this video or my channel, I absolutely welcome you to write it in the comment section down below. I really look forward to hearing from you. And before you go, if you like what you saw but you're not already subscribed, please make sure you hit the subscribe button and definitely click that bell that pops up afterwards so you'll be notified when I post new videos or when we go live. I broadcast my live show, The Morning Night Live, Monday through Friday at 10 o'clock Eastern, 9 o'clock Central. A special thank you to all the supporters of this channel who share our videos on social media and who make donations through Streamlabs, YouTube, Venmo, and Cash App, which are all linked in the description down below. Thanks again, and until next time, I'm P-Dog Night, and I'm out of here.